Hey gamers, I got a good one for you today. My top 5 designers. Who are they? Well, here we go. This is in order to. I do want to give maybe an honorable mention, I guess. Stefan Feld. I feel like you always have to mention him. He is not my top 5. And I thought about this because I said, oh, I have a lot of his games. Does that mean he's a top 5er? And then I thought, no, because of all the games he has out there, I like maybe 30% of them. Maybe 40%. I don't know what the average is. I mean, there's some really good games he's got, like Amerigo and Bruges and La Isla I really love, and Carpe Diem and Castles of Burgundy, and I can't remember what else I have. But the thing is, though, I've gotten rid of a lot of his games before, and there's just a lot out there that I'm just have zero interest in. So is he one of my... I do enjoy him. Whenever I hear it's a failed game, I'll look at it, but I don't put him in my top 5. So who is part of my top 5? Well, number 5 is kind of a cheat here, but he created my favorite game of all time. So this is the only game I have, but Twilight Imperium's creator, Christian T. Peterson. I love this man. He created a great game in Twilight Imperium. This has been like number 1, number 2 on my list forever. I don't see it going away anytime soon. I think we played it like 9 times. It was a record last year. This year, I may not play it as much. I don't know. It looks like the summer is when we start gathering steam for Twilight Imperium. But just everything about this game, it just does not bore me. It's different every time. Who you play against, what agreements you make, what goals are out there. The game is just wonderful because, and here's the brilliance of this game, not only are there a billion paths to victory, but playing to your alien strength will always benefit you. And then of course, being a good negotiator can benefit you too in this game. I won't lie about that either. Being a smooth talker, outwitting your opponents, double faking them out, all this stuff, bluffing. You know, I bluff a lot too. It's really awesome. Now, true, this is a game that I rarely, if ever, lose at. I am very good at this game. But I love the challenge. There's so many times I've come this close. I've come this close to losing. And every time there's stories to tell. And playing with the downloadable content with the codexes has just uplifted even higher for me. We're definitely going to play with Codex 2 or 3 where we have teams there. We really enjoyed that. So I know we're going to play that a lot more. But, oh my goodness, the game does not get old. I hope they create more content forever. More content forever. But Christian T. Peterson, just for that one game, that's why he's got to be number 5, because he's just got one of my favorite games of all time. Even though I've never played, I would play World of Warcraft if I could get it. It's not cheap. All right, number 4 is someone that I have talked about on my reviews here. I will always look at a game of his. It is Benjamin Schwer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. I kind of don't care. I just know your games are awesome, sir. A few of the games that I have that I really love was Livingstone was the first one I found from him, and just loved it. I just love the mechanisms. Very, very simple game. Actually, just recently played this game again. Yeti is a kind of a children's game. He made a lot of children's games. I don't have many of them. I do have Yeti. That is some of my nephews' and nieces' favorite game. That's the only game my nephew wants to play when he comes over is Yeti, and then whatever he wants to show me. But we've got to play Yeti. And I'll be honest. I've played Yeti with my adult gaming group too, and I've had a lot of fun with it. But other games I have of his is Hadara, which I think is wonderful, very smooth, and Crown of Amara, which uses a double rondelle, which who could ask for more? This guy's pretty brilliant. He's an up-and-coming guy, kind of cutting his teeth in the adult gaming world here. And like I said, anything coming out by him, I always got my eyes on because he's one of my favorites. Number 3 is, and I don't know how to pronounce these names, but I'll just say Andre Novak. Looking at him and looking at my collection, he created 3 of the most underrated games ever. Okay, first off is Versailles. I love Versailles. The board's one giant rondelle as you're making, trying to get resources. Put those resources into building these garden pieces, laying the garden pieces in a puzzle in the middle, and trying to get as much points as you can before the game ends. The game can end in 2 different ways too, and it's a coin flip on which way it ends. Boy, that's a smart game, but that's not the only smart game he created. He created Praetor. Folks, another game I see for super dirt cheap, and it is so underrated. Praetor has, you have dice workers that age as you use them, so you have a 1, 2, and 3, but they can age up. When they get to 6, they're retired. And you're buying different tiles, building walls for points. As you match up these tiles, the corners have these little mosaics. If you match them up again, and it kind of creates this new dynamic that I've never seen before. We're gathering points that way. There's a lot of moving pieces, but it feels like a simple, streamlined game. And the times we played, Oh, the games have been epic. Totally underrated game, Praetor. And this third one, which someday, if it's not in my top 20 this year, I'll be shocked, but some more. Shoot, this could maybe be a top 10 game now. I love this worker placement game where you're playing tiles that are also temporary worker placement, Pete. And there's so many tiles, especially if you have the expansion and stuff. There's so many tiles in the game now that the worker spaces will always be different every time we play. And the more players, the more mayhem you have, the better. And should you get the expansion, the Dragon Lords, yes, get it all. Get the little promo pack that comes with it too. Man, this guy was brilliant. This guy is brilliant. This is a fantastic game. It is basically how to train your dragon, on a board game. I love this creator. Now, not all of his games. Those are just the ones I love. There's definitely some other ones I've passed over in the past, but he is someone that I hope continues going because it seems like where I'm 50-50 on him, he's going to make a hit, and I'm going to just love it to death, and no one else is going to know about it. But Andrei Novak, my number 3. Number 2 is someone who a lot of people put on this list, and I see it as their number 1. For me, it's my number 2, which is probably going to give away my number 1. I guess his name is Simone Luciana. He did things like Marco Polo, which, oh my goodness, I love Marco Polo. Love everything about Marco Polo. Council of Four is another one he did that I think is absolutely wonderful. It's a very smooth one. I don't have the new version, I have the older version there. But and then he teamed up with someone else, now a bunch of board gamers know who I'm talking about now, and made some wonderful games together. But I'm just talking about these other ones. Now, he made something called Barrage. It's something that everyone loves. I was never attracted to it, but I promise you I will keep it on my radar because this guy makes beautiful music and beautiful board games with another co-creator, and these are the games he kind of made without that co-creator that I love as well. But the guy who's number 1, Virginia Gigli, whatever, I have all of his games now. I have all of his games. As of this video, I think I've gotten all, except for his Haba game he came out with. And I still may buy that for my boy when he gets older. And I'm not counting that out. I love this guy because I already had a lot of his games. I would think I was missing like 3 games. Or 4 games before I knew who he was. And I was like, but see, out of those 4 games, 2 of them I was heavily looking into buying. And I said, man, that game calls to me. I don't know why, but it calls to me. It calls to me because of this guy. This guy is a genius. Grand Austria Hotel. Lorenzo El Magnifico. I should have written his stuff down, but he did Golem. He did Leonardo da Vinci, Kumanai and whatever, and Ghost for Sale. I even got that one too, just because of his name. At this point, I'm down for anything he wants to throw at me because that guy speaks my language when it comes to board games. And I've just discovered over time, wow, this guy has made some home runs, hit him out of the park. Yes, he is working with Simone a lot on some of these, like Grand Austria Hotel and stuff, and Lorenzo El Magnifico. But wow, does he design a great game. And I am totally interested in anything he does in the future. Hey folks, those are my top 5 designers. Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your top 5? And until next time, game on!